Okay. All right. Sorry, Judy. I'm gonna get back here and
Okay, I lost the screen. Is that?
yep. All right, I gotta get back. Well, at this point, let's just do it without the PowerPoint. That's okay. I know what order we're going to. Let's see. All right. Judy, if you don't mind welcoming us again. I'm sorry.
Hi, everybody. I will welcome you back into our meeting tonight. Thank you for coming.
All right.
Jim?
We're
Yes.
we're going to have Jim O'Neill do a quick Pledge of Allegiance, but unfortunately, without my PowerPoint, we don't have a flag. So just imagine it's there.
Okay,
Jim?
join me if you like. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which
for
it
which it
stands,
stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible,
indivisible,
with
with
liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Jim. And Sharon is going to give us a
Good.
quick motivational reflection. Sharon?
Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Every Kiwanis Club is a small group of thoughtful and committed citizens, and our goal is indeed to change the world, one child and one community at a time."
All right. Thank you, Sharon. Deanna, do you want to recognize a couple of our guests, please?
I do, and I heard you loud and clear to make this quick, so I promise I'll not do what I normally do. So our Ohio District Kiwanis Governor-elect Marcia Copeland Hudson, you've already heard her speak.
Hey guys, hi.
From Kettering. And next, our past governor, Sharon O'Neill, and Jim is there. And then my personal friend, Diana Keplinger, who with Deb Levering got me into all this Kiwanis stuff 8 years ago from the Delaware Evening Club. So
Does it go bigger?
thank you for introducing me to this world. And then, Dick, if it's okay with you, I can just move on and introduce Rick.
Yeah, just go ahead and introduce me.
Introduce you.
Okay, as secretary, I just want to be able to say that we're not going to do secretary's minutes or report because we've got people who need to leave. But I will let you know that we have somebody from every club except Marysville and Marion at this point. But I am recording and I will share this with everybody, a link with this. So, and Shelley? I think we lost Shelley. She was on a second ago. Oh, no, here she is.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
I apologize. I'm getting
Shelley,
ready to
just
travel.
give us a quick update on finances, please.
Yes, sir. So we had beginning balance as of last meeting was $35,38.64, and we had some interest that we collected, a whopping $1, along with some dues of $320. So total income was $3,021, and then our expenses were our division meeting in Marysville for $75, and then expenses to our lieutenant governor, including our district convention, as well as some mileage of $377.12. Total expenses $452.12, leaving our balance as of today at $3,407.52 in our administrative account. And then in our service account, we have a balance still of the $271.42.
All right. Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.
At this point, I'm going to ask Rick Kidwell to begin his presentation. Rick Kidwell, besides having been many different district chairs, is a member of the realignment committee, and he is sharing information with us tonight. So Rick, it's all yours.
All right. Thanks, Dick. Glad to see everyone. Not sure exactly where to start other than tell you that this has been quite the arduous task. The task force has worked on this for about 2.5 years, and the recommendation went to Kelly's board in August, and they approved it. But the actual realignment doesn't kick in until October 1st of next year or this year. So we've got from now until October 1st to get all the bugs worked out. I'm hoping you've had a chance to see it. But in essence, what's happening with One South is Carrie will be moved out, and Carrie will be coming back up to what's currently One South. Many years ago, Carrie was part of One South then. And then the rest of the One South clubs will be joined together with the current 11 North clubs. So as the task force worked on this whole process, there were several things that we were trying to accomplish. One was to balance as much as we could the number of clubs in a division, the number of members in a division, and the geographic distances that a division covered. So it wasn't easy, and we know there are some things probably that are still going to have some questions, but there are two really important things that I want to stress tonight, and that is between now and May, the clubs in the current 11 North and the clubs in the current 11 South, except for Carrie, need to get together and elect your lieutenant governor for next year, and ideally a lieutenant governor elect at the same time, so that we've got the start of the progression of leadership, so we're not scrambling every year to try and fill vacancies with lieutenant governors. I know going from your current 7 clubs to 12 clubs is going to make some changes. Distance wise, it didn't affect you too much. I was doing some checking today. The distance from Marysville to Mansfield is 80 miles. That's probably the greatest distance. The one advantage of going to 12 clubs is that the ability to get lieutenant governors to cycle from club to club will improve. Ideally, with 12 clubs, a club would only have to come up with a lieutenant governor once every 12 years. Now that's the ideal situation. We know that doesn't always work, but and there'll be probably some tweaking on some of this. But as we looked at it, it seemed to make sense that the current clubs in 11S, except for Cary, you're a pretty tight geographic group, not a lot of distance between the communities. But with Bucyrus, Gallion, Lexington, Mansfield, Mount Vernon, and Shelby, just to the north for the most part of your existing division, it seemed to make sense to pull those 2 divisions into one. So let me stop at this point and ask if there are any questions so far.
Rick, what clubs did 11 North actually lose?
11 North is not losing any.
Oh, okay.
They currently have 6. You were currently at 7. We're pulling Cary out and putting it into what's currently 1 South. So we're basically merging 11 North and 11 South into one division.
Well, and I know as a past lieutenant governor, I always shook my head because I always passed Bucyrus and Galleon and thought they're in 11 North, not 11 South. And it's like, okay, it would have been easier for us if they'd been in 11 South. So this is sort of a no-brainer.
Yeah. The one thing that it does do is with 12 clubs, the lieutenant governor is going to have to be scheduling more meetings. But one of the things the task force was also working on was what exactly are the responsibilities of a lieutenant governor. I don't know if that's been totally finalized yet. The times that I served as lieutenant governor, I felt that that I should try to do their officer installations, and I should try to get to at least 2 other meetings during the year. Now, if you look at that and you say, well, that's 3 times and 12 clubs, that's 36 times that a person has to travel around the division. Don't know that that's necessarily. A lot of clubs seem to be comfortable doing their own installation of officers, but I always looked at it that was kind of an important thing for the newly elected officers to be installed by the lieutenant governor. But there are a couple other things then that need to be done. But again, most importantly, and Marcia will agree with this, we really need to get the lieutenant governor for next year elected, because Marcia's got her training scheduled in May, I believe. And so that's important. But then at some point, you'll also need to get together and do bylaws revisions, sit down and look at the existing bylaws in the 2 divisions and say, well, they're pretty much the same. Let's tweak it here and there. The only other thing that is going to impact 11S at this point is with Cary moving out, you'll have to determine what percentage of your treasury would move with them into the division they're going to. It's really not that hard. It's just look at the number of members from each club, figure out the percentage, and say, okay, 10% of this account, 10% of that account, and write Cary a check, and they can take it to their new division.
Okay. Anybody else have questions for Rick?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Guy?
Yeah. So I guess I've heard 1 South, 11 South, 11 North, and Cary going to 11 North. Now I'm hearing 11 South and 11 North are combining. What really is happening? Is 11 South and 11 North combining, or is just Cary going from us to 11 North and that's it?
No. 11 North and 11 South, they're combining, except Cary will be moving out of 11 South.
But if we're all combining together, then we're still all together, right?
Right.
Well, you say 11, Cary's moving from us to 11 North, but we're all combining.
One
It's
South.
one big section, right?
I'm
One
going to
division.
1 South. I'm going to 1 South.
Oh, you're going to 1 South.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Which is
They're
actually
returning back home.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Actually, I said they're going back to 1 South. So actually, in the new configuration, and that brings me to another point. In the new configuration, they'll be going to what's currently known as Division B. B. Right now, the divisions are identified with alphabetic letters A through S. And that brings me to my next point.
That makes sense.
Clubs will have an opportunity to come up with a name for the division, their new division. Can be geographical. I know we keep, in my part of the state, we keep hearing about things going on in north central Ohio. When I look at north central Ohio, I see Bucyrus and Mansfield and you guys. And so, you know, you might become North Central Division. Some of the others are maybe looking at something related to the history of their area. I know with the Boy Scouts up in this area, they use the Black Swamp Council. So the current Division 1 North might end up becoming the Black Swamp Division. So those will all be things that need to be worked out. But in the meantime, to keep things straight, you'd be going into the combined 11 North and 11S become Division J.
Okay. Marcia, you're going to have do you have a question for Rick?
Hold on. There we go. Rick, if I may, I just want to clarify why we went from numeric to A, B, C, D. That's just a working title. You're
Right.
not permanently A, B, C, D, blah, blah, blah. It is to keep, if possible, confusion from what you currently are, like your 11N, which is north, and 11S, which is south. And you will go to an alphabetical name only as a working title. As he said, we hope that you will come up with your own name to represent your own new division. But that's something after you have decided and you have changed you're blending together, come up with your own name that represents your community. So that's why you will see 11 or 11 and 11S is going to become division, I forget what he said, A, B, J, or USC, whatever it will become. But that is why it really is just as a working title until the reunification happens. Okay?
Yeah, if we'd have tried to stay with numerical values, it would have gotten confusing because, for example, the current Division 2 is basically going to disappear. It's being absorbed into two other divisions. So if we try to keep those if we started using numbers and we said, well, 2's no longer here, but we've got a Division 2, it made more sense to just go with alphabetical naming at this point.
But only at this point.
Right, only at this point.
Right. Thank you.
Any other questions for Rick? All right. Thank you, Rick, for sharing that. I do want to let everybody know I have 3 documents I will be sending out tomorrow, which were submitted to the Kiwanis board back and well, what was it, October, Rick? I think.
Yeah, yes.
So those will have more information to expand on what Rick has shared. And also I have one of my documents has a layout of the counties and things. It really does not impact us tons. Luckily, it's adding 3 more counties, but several of our clubs were on the edge of some of these counties that we're adding. For instance, Morrow County club was pretty close to Crawford County, and Crawford County is going to be added. So it really only is a short distance, but I'll put these out tomorrow. And since this is affecting Marcia's year as Lieutenant Governor, I'm calling on Marcia to share a couple of thoughts and any comments that she would like to make. Marcia, it's all yours. Just unmute.
There you go. So I know that this is a change, and change is not necessarily easy for many people, but we really are very grateful for your efforts to do this. What I will share is some other groups who have done the realignment, and they were concerned about the distances. Um, they combined. A couple of clubs have decided to do their division or their club meetings together, which cut down on the distance that the lieutenant governors would need to do for their travel for when the lieutenant governor is coming. Um, so it can be worked out. People can join and work together. And don't think of it as if you've been working with 10S or, well, 10S and 10N are joining together, but if you've been working with another club or another divisions, that doesn't have to stop. This is not a divorce. This is just a realignment, and hopefully a new way of looking and working with each other. And we hope that you're able to do this. I posted in the message board that my lieutenant governor training is May 16th to May 17th. I am doing it just for the first 24 hours, really as a unifying opportunity, laying out the new rules for some of the lieutenant governors. It's not all new, but they have done some tweaks, and time to socialize either before or after. So just a little bit of difference. I am going to uh, take advantage of Zoom to cut down on travel and cut down on cost for the new lieutenant governors.
Thank you, Marcia.
Mhm.
At this time, I'm going to call on our Lieutenant Governor, Deanna Brandt, to just share a couple of comments and thoughts.
Yeah, and I will make this quick. I know people have, things to do and it's late in the evening, but I want to second some of Dick's comments about the realignment. I am newer to this game, but often wondered why, in our division, I would drive through another division to get to clubs that were with us. And so, although I hate to see Carrie go, I think the clubs that we've added geographically actually makes sense to me, and to restructure the number of clubs, the number of members, and geographically condense things. I agree with Marcia. I'm a therapist by background, so I'm going to say what I always say. All change is hard, even good change. But I think this really bodes well for recruitment, retention, participation, engagement. So I hope we'll figure out a way to make this transition as smooth as possible. We are working on a meeting with the existing 11 North Division, and we'll keep you updated about that. We hope to accomplish that in the near future. And then I think I have two quick reminders, actually three. To Rick's point, we should be talking within this group and with 11 North about a lieutenant governor elect to take over this role for next year. So, please feel free to contact me or any of the past folks in that role if you have interest in that. Mid-year education days, March 15th. Deb Levering knows I'm going to say this. The first one I went to, I found incredibly informative and laid the foundation for a lot of the work we do in our Morrow County Club. And then Decon is in June. Is it in Pittsburgh?
Yes.
Yay!
That's Icon, not Decon.
Oh, sorry. My
It's okay.
bad.
Yeah.
Yep, not the District Convention International. My apologies.
It's okay, girlfriend. It's
I
okay.
need to learn how to read. So I'm very excited by that, beyond the fact that Pittsburgh is a great town. So I think that's really all that I had, unless anybody who talked to me today can remind me of something I'm missing. I think that's it.
I think that'll do it. Thank you, Deanna.
Thank you.
And Dick,
I don't know if Diana can hear me. I don't know that she can do it. She was going to do a reflection to close everything.
Hey, Dick, this is Wayne Shepherd. Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
Wayne.
I would like to ask either you or Rick a question, which bubbled up as this was all going on. I understand division, the divisions may have been realigned a little by distance. Was there consideration to realigning them by numbers? That is, how many Kiwanians will there be in Division J tomorrow morning? Because it may change between now and October, but
350.
so the lieutenant governor will be in essence responsive to 350 people.
Right. Compared to 158 for 11 South and 211 for 11 North. Yes,
Would it be?
I see this as the lieutenant governors are responsible for 12 clubs. The president of the clubs are responsible for their membership. They are responsible for nurturing and developing their membership. Just a different point of view.
Sure.
And Wayne, I think it was taken into account numbers of members. So I think they tried to balance them as well as they could.
For those of us who like numbers, do you think that the monthly Buckeye Bulletin could publish the division populations by division as they would exist now? I mean, giving us a J designation.
Let me see what I can get from Robin. I used to be able to
minus my
access
19.
that
Minus my 19.
the membership
right
thing, but
well, it would be nice
if that figure and share it with you guys.
It would be nice if somebody could publish that in some generally available Kiwanis publication, and I'm just thinking of the monthly.
Yeah. Wayne, I can tell you that it ranges from 201 to 414. Probably middle of the ground, a lot of them are around 250 to 300. Mileage became a real issue in northwestern Ohio because it's not densely populated, and southeastern Ohio, same reason.
Okay, thank you. I like numbers. I mean, you could slice it up by numbers of Kiwanians or distance, and then you decide which one you want to weigh more and slice it up. I've been a Kiwanian a long time, and it's all okay. I just wanted to ask the question.
Yeah. One other thing I should point out is the task force is going to recommend that come back to this every 3 years and see if there are adjustments that need to be made. There will be adjustments that need to be made along the way when new clubs are opened or when, unfortunately, a club would fold. But rather than wait 10 years and do it over again and go through a lot of unnecessary trial and tribulation, the task force is going to recommend that somebody look at it every 3 years, I think.
And Wayne, to just give you some idea about traveling, as an Action Club administrator, I go 3 hours plus to get up to Ashtabula and 2.5 hours to get down to Batavia. And I'm all over the state, so it will actually cut down on traveling as far as distances, for instance, like I travel. So nobody's going to be traveling that kind of distance.
One would hope. It's a little known fact that I was born in Ashtabula, so I know where it is.
Were you really? I
It really was.
I was too. So someday we'll have a conversation about that.
All
But
right.
I
Well,
think,
I
Wayne,
will.
that's a valid question because the current divisional membership, the range is from 77 to 624. So the realignment really does bring everybody closer to an equitable structure in the ballpark of 250, as Rick said. I mean, we're squeezing that to the middle, and if you take out the high and low outliers, we're all somewhere around the 250, 280-ish range, which, I'm a numbers person too. So that made sense to me also.
Okay, Judy, I don't think that Diana is able to do her closing reflection. So if you want to go ahead and do your adjournment.
Dick, let me interrupt just for
Okay.
a second.
Yeah,
You told me to make sure that I put in a plug for the Kiwanis Club of Findlay Pancake Day,
yes.
which is this Saturday at Findlay High School from 7 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon.
And this is, as Sharon and I have seen, this is one of the largest ones in the state. So it's quite an event to attend. And I have been attending the last couple of years because my action clubbers from the Hancock County Club are dedicated workers on this event.
Dick, they also have great sausage.
Okay. And I know from the Delaware Evening Club, we have an interclub heading up on Saturday, Rick.
Good.
Plus, we get to see Rick in his apron making pancakes.
Mixing batter.
All right, Judy.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for spending time with us tonight, and I will adjourn the meeting and enjoy Saturday's pancakes if you're going.
All right. Thank you for attending, and be safe walking out to the kitchen for supper. There,
Thank
Cindy,
you for
we
having
finally
me,
got your
everyone.
picture up here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dick.
Thank you.